Pelicans have finally did some good things in their organization. Pelicans fired Stan Van Gundy. Now, if you know Stan Van Gundy, he is the definition of a mediocre coach who keeps getting head coaching jobs. Now, I've been watching Stan Van Gundy coach in Detroit for the past few seasons, and let me tell you, bro, it wasn't good. Outside of an anomaly season with Blake Griffin that made him get to the playoffs, he has been mediocre ever since he has left prime Dwight Howard. That is the only reason that this man keeps getting jobs, because he was coaching prime Dwight Howard, and he had prime Hedo Turkoglu, he had prime Rashard Lewis, prime Jameer Nelson. That's the only reason. Outside of that run, he has been mediocre in his head coaching career. Now, the reason that Stan Van has been brought into the Pelicans was because of his defensive-minded philosophy. Alvin Gentry, who I thought was a good coach, I didn't think he was going to get fired, but I like Alvin Gentry because he was very offensive-minded. He let players do what he want to do. He gave them freedom to do anything, but the bad thing about that is it didn't have no structure for real. And then you got guys like Etwan Moore taking 10 shots in the first half because Alvin Gentry didn't have no structure with his offense. Now, Stan Van Gundy has structure. He wants his best player to take the most shots, Zion and B.I. He has a defensive philosophy. He likes defense. Alvin Gentry didn't really like defense for real. That's why the Pelicans were bad at it. So when they brought Stan Van in, they thought that he was gonna change the whole scenery, the whole energy of the Pelicans on the defensive side of the ball. Fuck no. Bad. Horrible. The Pelicans were just as bad on defense as they was last year. The only person that was good on defense last year was Lonzo Ball. In today's NBA, you need at least 3 to 4 players on that end to be a top 15 defense. And Lonzo Ball was the only one who was playing good defense. Eric Bledsoe, horrible. Even though he won first team all defense over Jrue Holiday. Are you kidding me? Brandon Ingram, horrible on that end. Zion Williamson, horrible on that end. Steven Adams, horrible on that end. And this made me believe that nobody was buying into what the BS that Stan Van was saying. And you need young players to buy in. They're young. They're 22, 23-year-old players. And if they can't buy in, they're not going to play well at all. And it's really a double-edged sword as a head coach when you have a young player and he's also your best player. And it's really bad when 2 of your best players are young players, that their opinion overshadows everything because they can request a trade right now and you gone. So the best bet is to fire that said head coach. And that's what I think happened with Stan Van. Mainly B.I. I think Stan Van Gundy told him to play some defense and Brandon Ingram was like, nah. I got some bad news for you. That's what happened. Zion Williamson also didn't really love Stan Van as I thought he was going to love him. Zion Williamson is your best player. He really has all the rights to say anything that he wants to say because he's going to be the poster boy of the NBA besides Luka Doncic. Maybe somebody else is going to get drafted, but Zion has most power than people think at 20 years of age. Due to the fact that they didn't buy in, the Pelicans blew a lot of those fourth quarter leads. They want to switch every time of how they want to play the fourth quarter, and teams was killing them. They want to have B.I. have the ball in his hands the whole time. They want to have Zion in his hands the whole time. They may be Lonzo with the ball in his hands the whole time. They really didn't have an identity on offense or defense to that matter. Like, I'm watching games and then players were visibly frustrated when Brandon Ingram was dribbling the ball so much that they didn't get the ball ever after that 6-minute point. It was nothing. No ball movement, no defense being played, no catch and shoot opportunity. It was Brandon Ingram. That's it. Then the next game, you have Zion do the same thing. Like, what is the identity of this team? You want to give Stan Van props for having structure, but we didn't have no structure when it really mattered. But it's not all Stan Van's fault. He didn't really have a training camp. He's coming to a brand new roster with a whole new identity, with a whole new roster after not coaching a while in Detroit. So I'm not going to really blame Stan Van, even though I do not like him as a coach. I want to blame David Griffin. David Griffin, you probably was the one that fired Stan Van. It's your fault as well, period. Why would you bring in Eric Bledsoe? Now, I get trading Jrue Holiday. I would have did the same thing. You don't want Jrue Holiday to play on this team because you want them to be young players and then take over and then to learn mistakes on the fly. I get it. I get the whole shebang. But why would you bring in somebody with the equal age and the equal opportunity and the worst player in Eric Bledsoe? Muscle man Eric Bledsoe. Muscles for no reason Eric Bledsoe. I don't want to be here, Eric Bledsoe. Then you bring in Steven Adams. You sign him to, I think, $30 million a year for leadership, for toughness. This is the NBA. You are making a $30 million investment on toughness. You could have gotten nerlens Noel for more than half the price, and he would have been a better player on switches, on pick and roll, on the interior, on the glass, every single thing. But you want to hire Steven Adams because he set some good screens for $30 million? Y'all different. So, and then I don't understand what David Griffin wants to do with his team. Does he want to win now by acquiring Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe, acquiring vet head coach Stan Van Gundy, because you already have the two best players? Or do you want to put the weight on these young players and then have this be a young core type of team? Because you drafted Kyra Lewis after you have Eric Bledsoe, after you have Lonzo Ball, after you have Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You get another guard who can play the point guard position, and he's young as hell. He's 20 years old. So what do you want to do? And that's why you've seen the Pelicans last year play their young guys a lot sometimes and then not play them sometimes. It was so inconsistent. They didn't know their roles. And then when they got on the floor, they played horrible because they didn't have no playing time. Now, when Jackson Hayes, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kyra Lewis was getting DNPs, people were saying that they're bad players. They're not really bad. I don't know what Stan Van or David Griffin was trying to do, but that wasn't it. They didn't play them later in the year, and then you've seen, oh, Nickeil Alexander is a good player. Oh, Jackson Hayes actually improved from his rookie year. Why the fuck would you sign Steven Adams, bro? I'm placing more blame on David Griffin. If David Griffin doesn't get it right with his head coaching job and this offseason getting the right players, he's gonna be fired, period, after this year. You ain't gotta worry about it. He's really overrated post LeBron. This firing might keep Lonzo Ball here. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm half and half of Lonzo Ball. I want him to go to his own team to actually show his point guard skills, but I also want him to win and play with some exciting players, like Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. And if Zion and Brandon Ingram didn't like Stan Van, I could only hope that Lonzo didn't like that motherfucker either. He had that man playing a 3-and-D role, and he's been playing point guard since he was 7 years old. Now I'm saying build the team around Lonzo Ball, but bro, put that man in the right position to be great. A coach that they can offer right now is Mike D'Antoni. Now, Mike D'Antoni is also half and half with me. Mike D'Antoni might unlock new ways to use Lonzo Ball, to use B.I., to use Zion in ways that Alvin Gentry couldn't even do. If Mike D'Antoni used his best abilities to unite this Pelicans team to be an offensive juggernaut instead of a defensive-minded team, they could be at least a top 7 seed in the Western Conference, or at least fighting for a play-in tournament. That's how good Mike D'Antoni is on that side of the ball. Defense was the problem last year, and they're probably going to be even worse defensively unless Mike D'Antoni hires some dog as assistants. In that case, I don't want Mike D'Antoni to go to that team. I don't think Mike D'Antoni has the patience for a young team. Our second candidate is Teaspoon, Teresa Weatherspoon. Now, if y'all don't know who Teresa Weatherspoon is, she's an already decorated basketball mom, so she's not a new candidate. She's been an assistant coach there for 2 years, and she's very inspirational, bro. Have y'all heard her speech?
Share that with you is because understanding who you are, understanding your value, understanding your worth is so important. You cannot allow one person to tell you who you are and what you cannot become. If you do, you allow them to create your destiny. You can't do that. You can't. It's impossible. Know who you are.
Have y'all heard her speech, bro? Her speech was very inspiring of how she got to where she got to be. She didn't listen to no haters, and she damn sure not gonna listen to them now. I already know. Y'all gonna be like, why she's not in the kitchen? Why are we hiring her just off she's a black female, she's a minority? No, nigga, she do this for real. She's a coach for real. Y'all thought I was a Pelicans fan now? It's gonna be even worse. Even better, I should say. She's a Pelicans head coach. A black female for a black city, New Orleans? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I say this a lot, and I'm gonna keep saying it. You know, she's always, you know, whether she's talking to me or whether she's talking to Kyra, you know, she says things that kind of give us confidence, like, all right, like kind of take a deep breath, like read the game and have fun.
Y'all gonna see me front row clapping for Teaspoon. Like, she's breaking so many barriers if she becomes a head coach, the first head coach in the National Basketball Association, and she's black. She a sister? Yeah, bro. Basically, either Mike D'Antoni, Teaspoon, Kenny Atkinson is right there. I don't know if Kenny Atkinson is an assistant coach for a team, but he's right there. I like Kenny At. But that'll be it for this video, bro. Make sure y'all drink water. Make sure y'all meditate. Make sure y'all get your mind right, your soul right. y'all body right, all that, and I'm out for this video, man. Peace.